What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another market update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so if we look at the crypto market right now, you can see that Bitcoin dominance is still continuing to climb. It's up to 64.7%. Usually when you see Bitcoin dominance climbing, that means that altcoins are probably bleeding, or at least that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins, and that is still continuing to happen. If you look at the market in general though right now, the volume has dropped off quite a lot, and that's obviously to be expected though because it's 4th of July weekend. If we look at meme coins specifically, you can see that Dogecoin is under a $1 billion market cap, SHIB is almost under 100 million again, PEPE is 519 million. So naturally you shouldn't really expect any massive breakouts when the volume is super low. And I know I pretty much only cover meme coins on my channel, so I also would like to talk about Ethereum again for just a second. I want to show you guys where Ethereum is compared to Bitcoin. So if you look at Bitcoin right now, you can see that Bitcoin's down 3.3% from its all-time high 1 month ago. If you go back and you look at Ethereum, you can see that Ethereum is down significantly more than that, 48.5% from its all-time high 4 years ago. This just tells you how much traction Ethereum still needs to gain on Bitcoin. Now, is it ever going to be outperforming Bitcoin again? Only time will tell. But in order for a lot of the projects that I cover on my channel, like Cocoro, Megals, Oscar, Baby Pepe, Hoppy, etc., you want to see Ethereum break out. And if we look at Ethereum right now, Ethereum's in a very interesting situation. So you can see that Ethereum is actually perfectly retesting the 200-day moving average right now. In order for us to see a very nice explosion, we want to see this level hold. However, I do want to point out, again, it is the weekend and we have very low volume. And in addition to that, we also have extremely overbought stochastics. Oftentimes, when you have overbought stochastics, they're going to start to reset and price action is going to go down with them. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if we do end up losing the 200-day moving average. I'm not saying I want that to happen, but just be open-minded towards that. And if the 200-day gets lost, there's a good chance that a lot of the meme coins are also going to drop with it. Now, I understand right now there are a lot of people who are just getting tired of this constant consolidation. It seems like Ethereum takes 1 step forward and then 2 steps back. But I want to just point out that Ethereum is in a much better situation than it was a few months ago. Don't forget, only a few months ago, back in April, Ethereum was down at $1,383. So even though Ethereum is not breaking out and at all-time highs again, it's still $2,500. That is significantly better than where it was. And I think a lot of people at this point at least understand that Ethereum is not going anywhere. Eventually, Ethereum is going to have the breakout. The question is when. Now, if we look at Bitcoin right now, it's actually in a somewhat similar situation to Ethereum. Unlike Ethereum, Bitcoin is quite a bit above all of the moving averages right now. However, Bitcoin, the main thing that I was watching was this trend line. And you can see that we did actually break above this trend line. However, now we have broken right back into this pattern. And this actually was a very strong trend line. You can see that we actually came up and retested it yet again, but then got rejected. But similar to Ethereum, we also have very overbought stochastics for Bitcoin. This is what's making me think that over the next week or so, we might have a little bit more of a pullback. But what I do also want to point out about the stochastics is sometimes it doesn't work out like that. For example, if you look at the last time we were extremely overbought, right back here, we were extremely overbought for a long time, and then Ethereum still had a massive explosion right afterwards. I'm not saying that that'll happen again, but it's something to keep in mind. Now, what I do really like for Ethereum though right now is actually the monthly time frame. When you look at the monthly time frame, we are still very oversold. You look at the stochastics and they have plenty of juice to push up. Same with the RSI. The one thing that I don't like about the monthly is that you could argue we're forming tweezer tops. This shows that there's still a lot of indecision in the market. So other than the tweezer tops though, I think the monthly looks very good. And if you look at Bitcoin's monthly, it's a similar situation. It also looks very good. The monthly absolutely has juice to keep going. And this tells me that July could end up also being a very bullish month. I'm not saying it's going to be a straight up moonshot over July. We could absolutely have pullbacks, but it's looking good so far from a stochastic standpoint. And then if you come over here and you look at the S&P, you can see that the S&P is doing very well right now. If you guys watched my market update 2 weeks ago, you know that I had the S&P drawn in this bull flag, and I said we were retesting the 21-day with oversold stochastics. And you can see that this flag has broken out perfectly, and it's even went above our measured move. And oftentimes you know that the crypto market does start to follow the S&P. Now the question is whether or not they've already decoupled or if it's just lagging behind. Because if you look at the crypto market, yes, it's had a little breakout, but nothing like this. So overall, we're in a very interesting situation in the crypto market. Again, mainly on the daily time frame. Some of the larger time frames still look very good, but the daily on Bitcoin and Ethereum are retesting key levels. I would also like to point out though, this post from Watcher Guru right here 34 minutes ago. Less than 7% of the global population is invested in crypto. Keep this in mind. Again, I understand a lot of people get tired of the constant consolidation. It can sometimes feel like you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. But ultimately, I think everyone watching this video would agree that crypto has a very bright future. You just have to stay resilient in this market. But that's about it for the update today. If you guys are interested in crypto and getting into projects super early and just being around a like-minded community, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord. We've been making huge gains in here this entire bull run. If you look through the all-time gainer list, we've hit some massive multipliers, and if you look through the crypto gain section, we're printing in here all the time. So if this is the kind of community that resonates with you, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to have you guys join us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about the market. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.